Hey guys, Nick from ArchCityPLO.com and Arch City Poker. It's been a while since I put a video up. There are a few reasons for that, but glad to be back and hopefully get back in the routine here. There are a couple different topics that we are going to discuss today. One is a quick Arch City PLO site update. I've added a no limit hold'em pre-flop course. There's charts for basically any situation, or like charts with like hand ranges for any situation you're going to end up in. Those are in the form of video modules. I used to actually sell that course separately, but I decided to add it to the site, and you get it as far as if you're just signed up as a silver member. It's two-tiered, silver and gold. But if you also are more of a PLO enthusiast, I just begun to add pre-flop charts for that as well. Those are actually going to be in the form of a PDF viewer, so you can scroll down, study charts for your opening ranges right now for 100 big blinds from under the gun to on the button. I plan on adding 30 big blinds and probably 50 big blind charts soon as well. But there's definitely been a lot of good stuff that's been added in the last month or two, and I would strongly encourage you guys to visit the site, sign up. The content on that site is going to put you in a much better position to succeed, whether you're playing online poker right now or whether you're mainly a live player and you don't have the opportunity to play live right now, of course, with the quarantine going on. So use those hours to study up, and I think you guys will be in a much better position to succeed when the live games do come back. So come over, visit the site, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's some new videos at the bottom of the homepage that illustrate what I'm talking about, how to use the site properly, and I think you guys will be very pleased with that. So let's get into the main topic of today's video, though, and that's going to be understanding the population that you play within. And the main example I want to use is today, when should I implement more aggression? When should I even possibly play hyper aggressively? So in general, the best way I can describe this is we're going to have a spectrum where on the low end, it's going to be your low stakes, your live low stakes games, and then if you're talking about online, your micro stakes games. We really don't want to play overly aggressive in those games. There are two reasons for that. One, rake is a major factor. I keep harping on this channel and on my site. You guys need to pay attention to the rake structure because you will get eaten alive if you play too many hands. The second part of that is most players within those types of populations do not have a fold button, okay? They're not driving to the casino to fold. They want to see rivers. They want to get to showdown. It's the same online with the micro stakes. Players do not want to fold. So there's no reason to try to barrel these players off of their ranges and play hyper aggressively when they're just making calling mistakes. If they're just doing that, then you want to tighten up your ranges and really just hammer them for value. Now, on the other end of the spectrum are going to be your higher stakes games, okay? Whether that is, let's say, I wouldn't consider this necessarily higher stakes, but like where you have thinking or competent players. So live, I would say probably most 5-10 player pools, especially in cities where you don't get a lot of 5-10 off. If you live in a place where 5-10 gets off all the time, then let's go to like 10-20 or 10-25 or even 25-50 and above. If you're playing within those games, you already know more than likely that you can't just play a hyper-aggressive, unbalanced type of strategy because those other really good players at the table will eat you alive. They'll know when your ranges are empty. They'll know that your range cannot support playing that aggressively all the time. In the middle is where you usually want to implement this kind of aggression. I would say for live games, it's going to be usually 2-5 and 5-10. You have a bunch of players that know that they can't just call down all the time. They're going to be doing a lot more folding, a lot more thinking. You want to take advantage of this because those players are likely going to overfold in quite a few spots. They also just simply are not going to have the courage or the know-how to counter you and defend and attack you, attack back essentially. If you want to know what the equivalent stakes would be online, I would say anywhere between maybe like 10 cent, 25 cent, or 10 cent, 20 cent, and then $1, $2. So for you online guys, of course, that would be, for example, like no limit 25 to no limit 200. that's fluid. It depends on the site you play on. If it's a much weaker site, you could probably extend it even to potentially 2-5 games, like No Limit 500 or 200 400, or sorry, 2-4. It could be like a $2 $4 game possibly as well. But again, the low stakes, like the high end of low stakes, getting into the mid stakes games, that's again where you can play much more aggressively, play hyper aggressively, because again, you have players that probably know they're supposed to fold in a lot of spots. They might fold as an exploit, thinking that players just aren't bluffing enough in certain spots, and they may just not have, again, they might not have the skill set to know how to counter, and they very possibly also do not have the courage to do anything about your strategy. So I hope that was a pretty good example of understanding your population, and more specifically knowing when and essentially like who against you should be implementing that kind of aggression, whether you do play live or if you are obviously forced to just play online right now. So like I said, click on the link, come over, visit archcityplo.com. A lot of great content on there right now, guys. And then hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you got any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.